Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 89 of Cute Little Love Letters, and this one is the final chapter titled Wedding Day Part 5. I'm doing very well, my sweet husband, you replied lovingly back to him. I'm having a great night. How are you? I'm loving this, he said as he squeezed your hand in his. I get to spend the rest of my life with you. This day couldn't get any better. You smiled and he leaned in and gave you a kiss on the lips. We can be alone, just the two of us, soon, he said with another hand squeeze, and you smiled. I'm looking forward to that, you said. Your attention was then drawn when a lovely big wedding cake came wheeling out of the catering area, being pushed by Mrs. Filoya. She had insisted on making your wedding cake, free of charge, which you thought was very lovely indeed, since wedding cakes weren't cheap. Weddings in general weren't cheap, full stop, so this was a lovely gesture from her. As she wheeled it out, the MC asked for you and Denki to come around to the front of your table and stand next to the cake so the photographer could take some pictures before you ate it. You stood there grinning as the camera flashed, and then the photographer asked you to cut the cake. If the knife comes out dirty, you have to kiss the closest boy, Denki announced cheekily as he squished himself to your side. I don't know who that could be, he joked as he made sure to rub shoulders with you. You giggled and placed the knife into the cake, cutting down the side of it and then slowly withdrawing the knife to find it covered in icing and cake crumbs, and Denki grinned. Oh no, it's so dirty. Whatever will you do? You must kiss the closest male, he said as he shut his eyes, puckered up his lips and turned his head to you. Cheekily, you quickly dipped your finger to the side of the cake and got a bit of the frosting on your finger and then bopped his puckered lips with it. Surprised, Denki opened his eyes and saw that you had put a bit of cake icing on his lips instead of kissing him, his surprised face and crossed eyes looking down at his lips making you giggle, and he grinned. You cheeky girl, come here, he said, grabbing you and kissing you on the lips so that you both now had icing on your lips, and the crowd of already giggling onlookers laughed harder. The photographer was loving the candid moment, and the camera flashed away as you and Denki shared your cheekiness together. After that, you cut a slice of the cake for him and one for yourself, and then handed the knife back over to Mrs. Filoya for her to take the cake and chop it up to share with the rest of everyone. I hope you like it, she said in her thick Filo accent. Kasi it is good for you. Make you masaya lang. Happy, only happy, she added. Your cooking's always been amazing, you said to her. This will be every bit as amazing as all your other foods. You are so sweet, she said, pinching your cheeks with her fingers as she pulled the face of a sniff kiss. Maganda. Okay, I'll cut this one. Everyone can eat. Okay, thank you, you said to her as you went back to your seat with Denki, and she took the cake out to the kitchen to cut it up. Kendo helped wipe all the cake smear off your face, and then you and Denki started eating your cakes. It was amazing, as you knew it would be, and slowly the other patrons got their slices as well, followed by dessert platters and cheese boards being placed on the tables for people to pick and nibble at. The desserts were hand-selected by you and Denki, the lavender scones with honey buttercream being a favourite, and you ate a few of those before you were called to throw the bouquet to the single women at the wedding. Here, Yin, Kendo said as she picked up the bouquet from the table and passed it to you. Thank you, you said as you walked to the area that had been reserved for the dance floor and took your spot while the other girls and women mingled around behind you. You waited with a smile until everyone was ready, and then the countdown began. 3, 2, 1, they shouted, and you threw the bouquet over your shoulder and then looked back to see how it had fared in its flight. To your surprise and delight, most of the girls had grouped together and hoisted Alex up on their shoulders, and your little friend had grabbed it in their hands with a whoop of delight. There was a round of applause and laughter, and then Alex jumped from their shoulders and knelt down on one knee in front of Komori. Will you marry me right now? Alex asked with a grin. See, Yin is forever my girl, but I want someone by my side, like she's going to be by Denki's side, they said. Poor Komori didn't know what to say, so you had to intervene a little. Alex, you're coming on a little too strongly, you chided. Ask her for tea sometime. Oh, instead of getting married, do you want to have some tea sometime? They asked. Yes, okay, Komori said with a bashful smile, and Alex jumped up. We're getting married, they shouted. Alex, no, you cheeky sprite, you chided, half giggling as they jumped around. Just then an old flute song came on and Alex paused. I know this one, they said joyously, starting a dance right in the middle of the dance floor area. Come on, Yin, you know this one, it's the dance of the fairies. You giggled and pulled on Denki's hand. Come on, This one is where you dance in a line holding each other's hands, you said as you joined your other hand with Olix's. A line formed after you and Denki, and those who got up to join watched the steps to the song, and before long everyone was doing the dance very well and enjoyed the movements. When the song ended, another one came on, and the night continued on, but you hadn't had a chance to thank or talk to people much, so while people were dancing, you and Denki walked around to thank those who had come to your wedding and reception, and talk to them a little. Another 2 hours later, and most people were half asleep on the tables or still dancing on the dance floor, and Denki nudged you. You want to skip this place? How about we take off? Just you and me? He asked, and you grinned. Yes, let's go, you said with a grin. You caught the MC's eye and did the usual sign for wrapping it up, and he nodded and grabbed the mic. For those who are willing and able, we're now going to see the newly wedded couple off and wish them the best as they head off on their honeymoon. Please make 2 lines from the front door. He pointed to the door that you and Denki would be exiting through. And a staff member will give you a party popper so you can set it off overhead as our couple run underneath. Most of the attendees thought this was a fantastic idea and lined up as instructed, taking a popper from the staff member and having it ready to go. Once everyone was in place, you and Denki stood side by side, looking ready to run, and crouched slightly when the MC shouted, "Bride and groom ready?" You and Denki nodded and set, ready for the run. On your marks, get set, go! He shouted, and you and Denki raced under the arms of all of your attendees, the poppers popping and crackling overhead as large confetti and coloured paper shot out and landed on you, filling your run with rainbow colours. You and Denki ran for the door and then outside to the waiting car and jumped in, your friends and family calling out their goodbyes and well wishes as the doors were slammed closed and the driver of the car took off quickly. You and Denki were still piled on top of one another in the car as it took off, and you both laughed and giggled as you got yourselves upright and buckled in. Oh, what a wild getaway, you said with a happy sigh. So much fun. I have one more thing for you, though, Denki said as he signalled the driver to pull over up ahead. On the side of the road up ahead was a small box-looking thing, and the driver pulled over, and you and Denki got out of the car. What is this? You asked as you crouched at the box, and Denki did too. Open it, he urged. So you pulled on the strings and the box fell open, revealing the bonsai plant that Denki had wanted to get for you all those years ago at the markets. You didn't, you gasped. Oh, Denki, it's beautiful. I really wanted to get this for you, he said with a smile. So I saved up and I asked Mrs. Zenzo to keep it aside so I could buy it for you, he said, and here it is. Oh, Denki, you said as you turned on your feet and hugged him. I love it so much. You really are beautiful. I love you, Yin, he said as he hugged you back and then pulled 2 ring boxes from his pocket. Yin, will you wear this ring as a symbol of our love, now and forever? You pulled back and looked down as he held the box out to you on bended knee. Oh, yes, you gasped as you allowed him to take the beautifully carved wood and gold ring with a citrine gem set in it from the box and slide it perfectly onto your ring finger. You then took his matching ring from the other box and slid it onto his ring finger and then stood up and kissed and hugged. As you remained embraced, the 2 glowing butterflies who had been settled on your crown all night took to the skies. They had much to report back to the Queen. And there it is, the end of Cute Little Love Letters. If you are interested to hear Yin's mum and dad's little backstory when they first met while she was stuck in the woods, listen on. That will be up tomorrow. The first part will be up tomorrow. There's 6 parts to that one. And then that will wrap up this whole mini-series. And, it has not been a mini-series. It's over 90 chapters. But it will wrap up this series and we'll move on to the next book. I have mentioned to a few of you who have asked who it will be next. It is going to be another, do I say it's going to be a poly one? But it's going to be Momo x Female Yin x Jiro. So we've got a WLW up next. That's the next book to come. But I will be taking a little break after we finish the Denki book. But I'll talk more about that after I finish up the Yin mum and dad little side story thing. So stay tuned for that if you want to, and I'll see you tomorrow for part 1 of the side story of Yin's mum and dad meeting. See you then.